The entire training room went silent when she walked in. A young woman in worn-out boots and a plain gray hoodie, nothing about her screamed elite. Yet there she stood, in front of hardened SEAL trainees and officers, her quiet gaze steady as a storm. The man at the front, Colonel Briggs, smirked. "So, you're Whisper Fox, huh?" he said, his voice echoing through the steel walls. "What are you, our new mascot?" A few of the soldiers chuckled under their breath. She didn't respond, just looked at him once, eyes sharp, calm, deadly calm. But to everyone else in that room, she looked like she didn't belong. What none of them knew was that every scar under her sleeve, every quiet breath she took, had a story that could silence every man in that room, forever. If you're watching this, don't scroll away. This isn't just another military story. It's about quiet strength, loyalty, and how sometimes, the ones we underestimate the most are the ones who carry us all. Stick till the end, trust me, you'll feel it. And hey, if it moves you, hit that like button and subscribe. You won't regret it. Whisper Fox, her real name was Captain Lana Reeves, had once been the top field operative in the Navy's covert branch. She didn't talk much. She didn't boast. She just got the job done. But after her last classified mission went sideways and her team didn't make it out, she vanished. Rumor was she'd quit, couldn't handle the guilt. So when she walked into that base as a consultant, most thought it was politics or pity that got her there. Especially Colonel Briggs, a man who thought volume was strength and silence was weakness. He tested her, humiliated her, made her run drills, carry packs twice her weight, spar with younger recruits half her size. She didn't flinch, didn't fight back. Just followed orders with that same quiet look. "You're not even SEAL material anymore," he barked one morning. "You're a ghost clinging to a name." She just nodded once. "Understood, sir." In the corner, mopping the floor, was an older janitor named Mike. No one paid him much attention. He was quiet, polite, a man invisible to the chaos around him. But every day, as he cleaned the room after the training sessions, he'd watch her. Watch the way she helped the younger recruits after everyone left. The way she'd stay late, patching up others' injuries before her own. He saw something the others didn't. Weeks went by. Then came the field test, a simulated rescue under harsh conditions. Briggs was leading, the recruits followed. Lana, though technically not required, joined in to observe. The mission went south fast. Communication lines cut. Terrain worse than predicted. Briggs, always loud, always in control, suddenly froze when a real-life flash flood ripped through the canyon. His radio was dead. Panic spread. But before anyone could blink, Lana was gone, silent as the wind. Moments later, she reappeared, dragging two recruits from the water, one over her shoulder. Then another. Then another. She moved fast, efficient, precise. "Whisper Fox, report," Briggs shouted, his voice trembling. "Mission complete, sir," she said through the comms. "You're 5 meters from a collapsing ledge. Step back." A second later, the ground where Briggs stood gave way, just where she'd warned. That night, no one laughed at her name. Still, Briggs' pride burned. He couldn't accept being shown up, especially by someone he'd mocked. The next morning, he called her out in front of everyone again. "You think saving a few rookies makes you a legend. You're just lucky, Reeves. That's all." Before she could respond, Mike, the janitor, dropped his mop and stepped forward. The room fell silent. "Colonel," he said quietly, "maybe you should learn who you're talking to." Briggs frowned. "Excuse me." Mike took a deep breath. "You ever read Operation Silent Echo?" The colonel froze. Everyone knew the name, the most classified, most dangerous rescue op ever attempted by a Navy unit. Entire teams lost. The only reason anyone made it out was because of one operative who went back, alone, to extract 3 wounded men and destroy enemy tech before evacuation. That operative's code name, Whisper Fox. Mike's voice grew heavier. She didn't just survive it. She carried 2 men through the desert for 4 days, while bleeding from a bullet wound. She called in the airstrike that ended the operation, and never took credit because her team didn't make it back. You mock her name, Colonel. But if it weren't for people like her, you wouldn't have a uniform to wear. The room went completely still. Briggs' face lost all color. Lana looked down, silent as ever. I didn't come back for medals, she whispered. Just to make sure the next ones don't repeat our mistakes. Mike smiled faintly. That's why she's Whisper Fox. She doesn't need to be loud to be legendary. From that day on, everything changed. Briggs never mocked her again. The recruits respected her like a ghost story come to life. And the janitor, well, he became the quiet storyteller of the base. Every night, he'd tell new soldiers about the legend who walked among them, the woman who saved lives without needing credit, without needing glory. Whisper Fox went on to train a new generation of SEALs. She rebuilt broken soldiers, not just their bodies, but their spirits. She taught them that true strength isn't noise, it's purpose. And one day, during a ceremony she didn't plan to attend, the same colonel stood at the podium and said, voice trembling, some heroes shout their stories. Others, whisper them into eternity. The crowd stood in silence, not out of order, but out of awe. If you're still here watching this, remember this, sometimes the quietest people you know are carrying the loudest battles. Be kind, be humble, and never underestimate someone's silence, because behind it might be a story that could change your life. If Whisper Fox inspired you, tap that like button, share this story, and subscribe for more real, heart-touching tales that remind us what courage really looks like.